This is one of the Mal models. Now this particular one came about from a couple of my team riders wanting a real HP type Malibu. Now what we've done with this, it's a little bit lighter and it actually features, I call it the shortboard bottom shape. Now I'll just flip it over to show you what I mean. Now like most shortboards, it just has a single concave all the way through. That's 1 foot from the nose. That's between the nose and the centre. That's the centre. Still the concave's there. Now the double concave is going to start, and this is between the centre and the tail. And as you can see, quite a pronounced double concave inside the single concave. And when you get up the back here where your back foot is, you can see there it's basically flat between the two rails in the centre, and then the double concave is there feeding off to a V, what we call a late V in the tail, okay, which creates a type of release in the bottom curve. Now the other thing about this board is the rail shape and everything. I've kept it just like a shortboard, so this edge is really close to the outside of the outline, okay, it's not tucked under very far from here all the way through to here, okay, so it's quite a hard edge, then it softens off to nothing, just like it would on a shortboard. The other thing with this rocker, it just has my even curve all the way through the centre with my standard rocker I have through the back part of the board like I put on shortboards, and that tiny little increased rocker in the nose to give it a feel like basically a shortboard. Now we've seen the foil, as you can see, it's refined like a shortboard. The other feature of it is the lightness of the board. What we've done with the glass job, we've actually done 2 layers of 4 top and bottom. Most Mals have a 6 on the bottom, 6 and 4 on the top. And when the lap is done on the glass job, normally it comes around to about here. If you're a decent manufacturer, it comes a bit wider. So what I do, the first layer of 4 comes around to here, and the second layer comes around to here. So when you combine the 2 layers top and bottom, you actually have 4 thicknesses of cloth from there to there. So I know sometimes you see these boards around with carbon rail bands and they say it's stronger, but if you get rid of the black and you just put that extra glass there like we used to always do with wide laps and so forth, that's where the strength is. So it's like having that so-called carbon rail, but you don't see it. There's no need to see it. There's nothing nicer than a beautiful white looking board. Now with the outline, as you can see, it just has a standard rounded square, just like if I was doing a 6-month shorty or whatever. The rail configuration, all that round the tail just feels like a shortboard. When your hands come up the rails as well, if you weren't looking at the board having this 9-foot outline, it'd feel like a shorty as well, coming up to the nose to a nice refined rail as well. Now this one weighs about 6.5 kilos. A normal standard Mal HP is about just under 8, okay? Some of these epoxy ones get very light, around the 5 kilo mark and so forth, and just under, but a lot of them end up in 2 pieces, unfortunately, but that's the problem. There's a certain point you can take it to. We can push this down to 5.5 kilos, but that's by putting a thinner filler coat on and just pushing a few more processes a bit further, but you know, I don't think it makes that much difference, that extra little bit of weight. Now, the other feature on this board, we're just doing the standard wet to dry finish, okay? And I don't spray them white. We're trying to keep as much of the weight out of the board as possible. Fin setup seems to work the best. The S Shapers S9, 2+1. I put the extra plugs in and ride it as a quad if you want. This board tends to work best with the 3 tri-fin type boards, not with the larger stabiliser and larger centre fin and the 2 stabilisers. So we stick with this one. It still nose rides unreal. So yeah, this one is the short board bottom shape, the Mal.